Is it just me, or does anybody else think the majority of modern lenses are just lame as hell? Like, there's really nothing interesting about the lens themselves. Because I feel like the majority of lenses that come out these days are all just spec focused. Like, they're giving you all of these cool numbers and these cool features, but the lens themselves doesn't offer anything interesting in terms of picture aside from just this all across the board sharpness. Like, I feel like that's just the default look for everything that releases. It's just sharpness, and maybe you got some stabilization and some stuff like that, but that's really it. And it's like they're so expensive and they're so just sterile, I guess, that I mean, yeah, they're cool, they're high spec, and they're big name lenses because, you know, they're the biggest, best, fastest, and have the best background blur, but they're still lame. Like, that doesn't change anything. Like, the picture quality is still boring. And so that's why I think as photographers, we might have been experienced the longest and biggest demotion in terms of equipment in any profession probably ever. And that's the craziest part about it. But in this video, we're gonna take a evasive action from all of that nonsense, and I'm gonna give you a list of some really good lenses that you can go out and get. One, that aren't gonna cost you $1 trillion. Two, they're gonna offer your photos some character. And three, they're just gonna last, and they're just gonna help you really create those timeless images and something that's a little bit different from what everybody else gets, literally everybody. So this one is for you if you're looking to stand out and be a little bit different. So stick around to the end of this video because I have a lot of really good options for you. So anyways, without too much yapping, let's get straight into it. So the first lens is the Canon 50mm FD 1.4. And I believe you can grab these on like 80 bucks for eBay right now if you really look. So definitely a steal. And with these lenses, they're not clinically sharp, especially to today's standard of modern lenses, but they give you that warm and soft Canon glow and those nice Canon colors still. And when you shoot wide open with this lens, the fall off is just absolutely magnificent. Like, you really can't miss with it, in my opinion. The bokeh from this lens just make your photos look like legitimate paintings, and I feel like for that price range, you can't miss with that. I mean, even if you don't love it, hey, it was 80 bucks. I mean, you're probably gonna be able to find a lot better use out of it than not. And for that price range, I feel like we could all take the loss on that, especially compared to the modern day camera. But with this lens, it definitely forces you to slow down because it's a manual focus only lens. So a lot of people are probably gonna be drawn away from that, but it gives you that worthwhile feeling that when you actually do nail a perfect shot, when it is all just lined up and exposed perfectly, you definitely get something that is a work of art, and you can definitely still receive high quality and really nice looking photos via this glass. Speaking on the topic of these lenses, do you think the whole clarity over character thing is just a nostalgia thing, or do you think that there's a lot of truth in that? Or how do you feel about that statement? Because I've seen a lot of people discussing it recently, especially in regards to these older lenses, because again, they're not as perfectly sharp as these newer ones, because these newer ones, I mean, they're newer, they've innovated on the technology a lot, and the other ones were more so just mechanical glass. So let me know your thoughts on that, and if you're enjoying this so far, leave a like, that helps me out a great deal, and subscribe, because again, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before Christmas. I have a bet going on with my mom, and right now we are at 5439, so a little over halfway there, and we got about 2 months. So I would appreciate if you could drop a subscribe. And anyways, let's get straight back into it. So next up, we have the Helios 44-2 58mm f2. This one is kind of known as the Russian swirl king, weirdly enough. And I'm pretty sure everyone and their grandma has heard of this lens, but very few can actually master it because it's a really unique and really interesting one. And this is one that I personally would love to try out a little more as well. This lens is basically just chaos in a metal tube. The swirly and the bokeh is completely unreal in what this lens is originally known for. And just the way it flares, it's completely uncontrollable, but I feel like that's also why people gravitate towards this lens so much. I've seen people shoot entire indie projects on this, and it really does look cinematic, especially if you pair this with, you know, a camera that's capable of shooting modern day standard video, or even just taking nice beautiful stills with something. This lens is definitely going to be one that's going to add some true character to your work, to the point where you will have people questioning, how in the world did you make it look like this? And this is one of those lenses I feel like that captures a lot more of how you feel, and not just specifically what you see in great detail. I feel like this one adds that balance and character between, you know, what is visually visible and what isn't, and then also just its own unique character traits in the way the bokeh just tells a story in itself, and also how the light just flares on this. And I believe these go for like 50 bucks, so it's definitely a steal. But I would say this one's gonna probably require you to sit down and kind of, you know, mess around with it a lot more to really start to nail it and to get used to it. But I would not let that stop you from getting it, trying it out. And it's definitely gonna offer you something different if that's specifically what you're looking for these days. So the next lens is the Minolta Rokkor 35mm f1.8. Now this one is pretty slept on in my opinion too, because it's got that crisp center, but then that fall off on the sides is just, it's its own different character. And this is definitely also going to be one of those lenses that is going to be able to differentiate you from your everyday competitors. And this lens, in my opinion, offers some of the best just color grade in any of the pre-digital lenses, in my opinion. I mean, the way the colors look straight out of this lens is pretty impressive, I can't lie to you. So definitely don't sleep on this one. If you're into street travel or things like environmental portraits, stuff like that, this lens is definitely going to be one that I feel like you should add to your collection, because what it brings to the table and how it could just make your storytelling and your imagery just stand out and just provide it with a little extra character, you're not going to go wrong with this one. And with these, I believe you can find these for around 200 to 400 depending on where you look. It's a little more expensive, but it's still not a lot again compared to modern lenses, and also for what it gives you, it's definitely a good price for the money. This lens is definitely going to give you that feeling that you're a true artist and that you can take beautiful images without having, you know, to spend everything you have just to be able to take the photo. But definitely keep this one on your radar. So remember in the beginning when I was saying that we have been facing a long-term downgrade? Well, the thing is, that doesn't have to always be the case, because fortunately we're able to go back in time and buy some of these things that did still have character, or that just stood out a lot more compared to their predecessors at that time, or even after that time. So with these lenses, these are just a list of great options I think that would be useful to you as a person who loves cameras. But I would love to know what you think. Is there a lens on this list that I missed? Let me know in the comment section down below if there's a lens that you use, that you prefer, that you would recommend to either me or anybody else who would be interested in finding something good. And also, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. That helps me out a great deal. And of course, I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.